appears to be working just dandy. We like this. Just one second, guys. I need to make sure all this stuff's working. A little slower than I would like on some of this. I think it's working though. Okay. Looks like it should be working good there. Third box. Alright, the follow button's working. Okay. Should be working here in good order. Sorry for the wait, guys. Do some arena. Maybe do some rank later, I don't know. Just feel like doing an arena. Ugh. I mean, 5th Legion Trainer is good, but I just don't like this card sometimes because it feels like you're playing this when, like, you play it and your opponent plays a better 2-drop, and then you try to counter the better 2-drop with the better 3-drop, while also simultaneously trying to protect the 2-drop because you want to get value out of the Legionnaire, the Legion Trainer, and it's just like this downward spiral that never ends well. But it's the best card, I think. So well, it's not that good. These cards aren't very good at all. I mean, this card could be good if you have a lot of weapons for it. So obviously it's got a lot of health to get pretty good value out of just about any weapon, make a easy early game trade. But I'll take the Maple Shield a little hesitantly, but Shield's good when you're kind of on the offensive. As for this hand, they're all kind of decent cards. It's early though, so I kind of want to prioritize on just good dudes. Sphere's okay. I like Shield Mage just a little bit better. Gotta take Cut Purse. That was another good early drop. Manticora is good, but it's slow, to say the least. Both these cards are... I mean, this card's probably better than the House Carl, but the Prophecy just gives this guy so much value in the right spot. It's a really close call between the two, but I'm going to take the House Carl. I'll take some removal. My 3 slot's kind of late. That's a little surprising. Not a lot of great options here. We'll take a decent drop. Take a Highwayman. Take the armor. That's not bad. Viper, I guess. I kind of like both these cards, but Viper's big removal. In case you always kind of want to... I always feel like you want to at least kind of protect yourself against the idea of not getting big removal, which definitely happens sometimes. I'll take the Saber there. Thank you. Thank you again. 3 Javelins. I want to, but Javelin's such an amazing card, but Javelin, it's like Javelin's always good, assuming you have the minions to support it, and I don't have my minion count's not that great right now, so I'll take the Cuppers. I'll definitely miss that Javelin though, but I got 2 arrays, that's good, and a Wreath. I don't have a lot of green, so that's no good. I'll take Crusader. I don't like Bruiser that much, but I guess I can take it. It's another threat that your opponent kind of, sort of, maybe feels like they have to deal with. I don't need finish off. I got the Javelins. Highwayman's good. Might take the Gar here, though. Don't have a lot of early game action right now. It's a nice little trick to have. Racer's Shield. I got another trainer, too. I do like me a race. Let me see. Alright, so I was wrong. Shield trades, so I might skip. As good as the Racer is, my 5-drop's already a little heavy, so I might want the Shield. Just for current purposes, we'll take the Butcher there. That's fine. Take the Prophecy. Take another Cut Purse. 4 Cut Purses, or do I go Prefect? Nah, gotta take Cut Purse, man. We'll take another Dragon Shell. Profiteer is a very strong card. I'd like to have it, but I need a little more late game activity here right now. Maybe Arrow. My creature count's definitely gone up a little bit. We'll take an Arrow. Ooh. I feel so. I feel like Ungoliant's probably one of the best cards in Arena, if only because its value is so high. The fact that it gives you the same effect in Constructed in Arena almost makes the card unbalanced in Arena, just because in Arena, you have a greater than 10% chance of drawing one of your Brotherhoods every single turn, so the value is just incredible. And it fits into my early slot here. Marauder's another very solid drop. I mean, I'm at the point of the draft now where I could take another 5-drop, no problem. Goldbrand's nice, but it's not what I need for this deck. The one thing this does is it definitely supports an aggressive archetype. But this, like, you do not, with a deck like this where I'm really trying to get aggressive with Cut Purse and whatnot, I want to be as consistent early as possible. So I'm going to take the Ungoliant. Can I draft 2 of these? I've never had this before. I'm gonna Google that. Can you take 2 unique cards in Elder Scrolls Legends Arena? I guess you can, right? I mean, it's letting me take it, I think. It's limit 1 per deck, but I gotta take that. I gotta run 2 of these things. And now Solrest Marshal, that we can take in the 5 slot. That's an amazing 5 play there. I could take Butcher here and just having yeah, I'm gonna do that. Just having such a strong early game like consistency all across the board seems really strong to me. Here you could make an argument for the Medic. Medic allows you to make a lot of trades, but it in itself is basically useless. So it's like you spend 1 mana to help you trade with something, and you get a 1/1, which is cool. Yeah, yay, 1/1, give me 1/1. But on the flip side of that, I do have currently three items you could put on it to try to make it useful, if you really want to. Now my 1-drop's not that low, so I don't desperately need it. I mean, it's not a 1-drop. This really isn't a 1-drop. You don't play it early. Somerset just might be slightly better, but I like the flexibility of the medic. I'm going to take the medic. Another Soul Rest Marshal. Okay. So this deck will be fun. I think it's good.
Ladies and gentlemen,
we will see.
Welcome back to the arena.
I do think the deck's good. Nothing that costs more than 5, but this deck is just going to be so consistent in the early game here. It's a 1-drop I can live with. I'll take that. I mean, removal. I can live with that. So this would force him to play removal. Let's go 4. I kind of like the idea of getting these going a little early, and more than that, it just forces him to really, like, it's a great trade for him if he can make it, but he's got to waste his turn doing it, and I'm totally okay with that. I'm okay with that too. That's just all around okay.
This should be good.
Alright, so you can do that.
For the Black Hand.
Javelin's a good draw. Not a great draw though. It was just good because I don't need it right now, but that's unfortunate. I'll probably draw. Yeah, that's what I figured. A non-weapon or non-creature.
There's more to come.
I don't want to kill that. I might opt to kill that. Well, he's running blue, so he's running blue-red, so he could bounce my guy, but that's really the only thing he could do to definitively kill it. We'll do it this. I'm just going to go on the assumption that he can't kill that. And I'll just more or less let that happen. Like, it's really not that big a deal.
We stand united.
So that has lethal. Okay.
I lurk in the shadows, waiting.
They make it too easy.
I feel like that's better just to give me a turn to kind of see where this is going, because I don't want to waste this javelin if he plays something better.
Careful there, friend.
I dare you to give that to the lethal guy. No. Well, I'm on the defensive now, but, well, he almost just made a mistake right there, only because now my decision's incredibly easy. He just made my turn really transparent. And he probably does what would be considered the right thing there. Let me do this. I think I make this trade, right? And just, I mean, that 7/7's way better than anything else you could throw out there right now.
The Night Mother
We'll do that. And if he deals with that, then congrats, really. That's a great start. That's an amazing start. Just give that thing ward. That's not ward. Alright,
We must break through their ranks. For the Black Hand. Chaos.
I mean, it's a free kill for the listener, but I don't think he wants to do that. You gotta kill my big guy now.
What are your intentions?
That's one way to do it. This guy's deck's actually really gnarly. He's gotten some really lucky rolls on the Munda Stone, but, you know, no excuse, really.
I lurk in the shadows.
This lane's done. I'm never getting that. No. See, I say that.
You'll pay for this. For the Black Hand.
So if I... Maybe I should have put that over here. I mean, he's just... This card is... It's like I cannot beat this card. That's really the issue here. But...
For the Black Hand.
You know... This card is just way too much. I feel like this card's way overpowered in this game. And I know the way it's considered not broken is because when it's not good, it's bad. But if the card isn't bad when it's played, you won the game. It's over. Like this game was over the moment you play that card. We're just fucking around at this point.
We know. I lurk in the shadows.
I mean, unless I can outrace him here, which I highly doubt.
It's time
I
to
lurk
act.
in the shadows, waiting.
This is my last stitch play. Really strong play, but I mean, he drew a lot of cards and he just drew more cards. I mean, he drew cards off the Jarl and the runes. Yep.
Gore and glory.
And still says no. Okay, that guy will kill whatever he touches. Nothing I can do with that.
Khajiit has had enough.
You can't defeat
We
me.
Tell me your injuries.
I mean, there's literally nothing I could protect, so I'll have him target himself. Let's see if I get there. Got one more weapon, they'll finish it off if I get it.
Let's shed some light on the problem.
Drain. There's the 1 turn clock.
Gore and glory.
Alright.
I take down. Dewaka watches over me.
I get a lucky draw. That's not lucky.
I lurk in the shadows, waiting.
So I got this thing in the bag as actual like He's basically saved everything pretty perfectly here. I could make that a 1-2. I just... So I gotta do this. I think I just have to... 9, 13, 16...
By our service we honor time.
So this way,
Where it hurts.
I can afford to do this,
You can't defeat me.
and then get 3 more damage in. Maybe I'll steal this game after all. I'm really surprised. That almost does it for him. Actually, that does do it for him. So you can clear the rest of my board here.
I have you.
Gore and glory.
I just ripped that one off the top. That sucks for him. Javelin will do it. Guess there's no reason to hold that because he didn't have any cards, but it's just a really good habit to get into, you know?
A challenger to challenger is ready for another battle.
I'm really surprised I won that game. I mean, all the kind of nut plays he got early to stop my early. I thought my early was really strong, and then I had that really critical turn 4 where I had 3 cards in hand and nothing to play, and nothing in my deck cost more than 5, which is just depressing. So, to that point, definitely had to come back from behind. I'm pretty lucky it happened. I'm happy it happened. I like winning a lot, but I do also feel like I like to try to assess when I'm in an unwinnable situation, and I feel like in this game so many bad situations kind of help themselves, but if you build your deck with enough resources, you're just one top deck away, and then it's just good times again. I don't know what to do here. Not that for sure. I guess not even that, so that's not aggressive. I'll just get rid of those two. The idea here is this, in case the draws are also bad, I have something to try to get me some more cards early. Oh, that's an amazing draw. Words can't express how happy I am with that. I was really like struggling with the idea of coining this and then coining that. Then I'm down to 1 elixir, and my board's still not really that good. So...
There is hope for this road.
I'm doing this just to give me more options. Like, yeah, putting this guy in the harm's way to plan to do this trade seems a little weird, but that kind of blows. But fortunately, we can persevere through that. No, don't do that. Do this. There we go. You want to spot my rune? Go for it. Like, the guy as it is will deal with them. If I'm really desperate, I can play this by himself as a guard to try to make that trade. If he has the answer again. I can play that too. That'd actually be a better play. So such a bummer. The play definitely gets me to thinking though. I think we go.
By our service we honor time.
So I could go face here. He gets a card, I get a card, and I basically just about lose the game if I don't find a javelin really quick. If he kills this,
Claws out.
but I'm in a... Nah, I don't have to do that. Just kill it. My hand is strong right now, and I got a card draw here, so I don't really need to. There's no need for me to take that risk. Basically, the risk is it's a high risk, high reward play, but the risk is unnecessary because my situation is decent. I have a better board than he does at the moment. We're about even in cards. It's a fairly even game, but I'm definitely not behind, so there's no reason to go that way.
You can't escape.
Definitely do that.
They make it too easy.
Uh-huh. That you do.
Training is over. It's time to act. We must break through their ranks.
I'll protect this guy. Force him to make this trade, which, I mean, why wouldn't you make that trade? Now I got a Viper deal with that, so I'm not as worried.
Had enough.
That worries me a little bit, but... well, now I can just do this. Which is huge, because now I don't have to spend the mana to do that. Really, the way to beat this card is to keep him on defense. Which I'm definitely still in a position where I can do that. And this is a big turn with the Soul Rest because I will be able to play it. I just have to decide how I want to make these trades here. I think I make the trades where I need to make them. Over here, I mean, if I trade here, then this is a 3-2. If I trade here, then this is a 3-2. This is better. So we'll do that.
You can't defeat me. You'll pay for this.
Damn. See what he gets here. Oh. Wow, that's really strong. He probably wouldn't even know how strong that is, too. That was huge. It totally wrecked my Marshall play. I mean, I still think it was the right idea to attack because you want to see if he plays the dude before I start unloading guys on the board. Because I want to have as much information as possible about what I'm up against, as limited as it might be. You know, if he hits Javelin and he's dumb enough to waste it here, though it might not be the worst thing to kill a Legion Trainer with it. So that might not be a waste, but it would definitely be a weak play for him unless he had more in his hand.
The power of the Hist fills me.
Oh God! This is not fair. Game should not happen this way. Alright, so first things first. Just do all the damage. Alright, pops the rune. It's a blank.
I bring reinforcements.
We'll do that. I think we'll do that.
I bring reinforcements.
Oh my God. This in case he has Dawn's Wrath. The reason I kind of load up over here a little bit more, even though this is where his dudes are, is I got the initiative. He has to deal with both lanes. The best single lane solution would be Dawn's Wrath, and Dawn's Wrath won't do it.
Steadfast, brothers. Victory will be ours. All too simple.
You won't even see me come.
Sure.
They make it too easy.
That's 6. Pretty strong stuff to get all that damage in, no doubt. It's just not enough. Okay, there's no way for me to avoid him popping a Rude, so I'll just go and let him do it. Alright.
Another combatant, another step closer to ultimate glory.
That game definitely went a lot smoother than the last one. I mean, it started off good. I was never really in a lot of trouble. definitely, if you like, if you ever draft a deck and you, even if the deck's not good, but you think it's good, and you're kind of trying to tell yourself, okay, the way this deck wins games is by doing this, 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 and this. Like, that's kind of how that game would be. Within reason. Like, you want to anticipate what your opponent is most likely to play on average, and how often are you going to prepare for that and beat that. And that was kind of how that game was. He played dudes to kind of challenge mine early, but they weren't quite as good, and I had the coin, so I was able to jump out ahead, and then just able to keep it. I'm just going to keep that hand outright. This hand's amazing. Being able to put one of these in a 30-card deck is really good to me. Putting two in a deck is just dumb. For a 30-card deck. Then having 4 cut purses. I mean, that's just dumb. The joys of playing Arena in a card game that doesn't have a lot of cards out for it. Like, I'm trying to remember. I didn't play Hearthstone that much before the first expansion, like only a few months. And I think their classic collection is a little bigger than this game's core kind of collection. I think. I could be wrong about that. So that guy just straight up challenges. I could move him over to save him, which actually I think I'm going to do. I don't want to give him just free value for nothing. That's my only issue there. This guy becomes a 3/3 if I put them both over here, which might not be the worst thing in the world, but if he just starts to unload super aggro over here, I'll fall behind. This won't be enough. If he wants to waste removal to get his value, that's fantastic. That's great news for me. I'd love to have this on the board, but that play definitely forced things a little bit. Benefits of having the Magicka. Don't hit it! Oh! That would have spelled trouble.
For the Black Hand.
So, I don't really have a lot going for me right now. I think I kill that. And what am I going to do? Just... This is a little risky, but I think it's right. It gives me a pretty clear short-term dominion over this board. If he doesn't have removal for this, I've got a really persistent threat that he's got to address. This guy's a solid card to have over here, and if he wants to overload over here, I'm ahead still because I got these guys to be able to attack first. That was a bad draw, though. That draw makes it all better. I'm not gonna play it yet, though. Please swing and a miss here. That's all. No! Bad.
The Night Mother will die.
I have 6 Brotherhood Assassins in this deck. The only problem is next turn, like if I draw 1 assassin and then like a 2-drop, because I'll draw 1 off the rune. I might draw 1 off a rune here. Is it'll be like I won't be able to play it for a turn because I'm pretty committed in what I'm doing. But I've got Saurus Marshal, so this will be fantastic if it works out. Speakeasy Prohibition Ale. A little strong for me, but not bad. Well, that was my fear. I think I have a play, though. This is a little aggressive, but I think it's right. I love to... like, I just can't play this right now. If I go here, I can make a trade and put a little damage in. So I shut that down. He doesn't want to trade. He attacks here. He's probably not going to do that because I'll just get a rune for 1. This guy won't survive much, but he's a low threat for him and it's free damage for me, and I get an even trade without having to spend extra mana, which is the key, which is why this Marshal's so good. Getting 2 of those late in the draft was really big. Oh!
Tell me your injuries.
Okay. That's solid. It's a good play.
For the Black Hand.
I lurk in the shadows, waiting.
3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 12, 14. I think I have to play. I have to play this right now. I mean, this guy's. I'm technically threatening lethal right now. I don't know if I'd want to go that route. If he has a really weak turn, I might consider it, because if he hits Lucky on Prophecy, I'm in a lot of trouble. But the odds of him letting me at least keep this board are decent. Because he might want to keep that guy rolling. That guy's a serious threat right now. And if he doesn't play something that can contest with what I have, I might go for it, but we'll have to see. That's unfortunate. I can deal with it, but it's unfortunate. Does not want to attack again, huh? Well, I can make this guy just an absolute boss and kill this thing. I think I'll do that. Actually, no.
I lurk in the shadows.
I just wanted to draw first in case I drew removal.
For the Black Hand.
He's got a lot of cards, he just doesn't have enough mana to play them all, so... I mean, the worst thing you could do is have a Javelin for this and then play something. That's pretty good, too. There you go. There's the problem. And even so, I still had the Brotherhood Assassin that kind of, like, refill, so to speak, kind of on the go. So that was good. Completed quest.
The challenger is ready. The challenger triumphs. What challenge awaits next? Let's find out.
At least the wake queues haven't been, like, too terrible. Like, I think there's probably a fair amount of people playing Arena in this game, but they're probably largely in the lower ranks, so their MMRs are just not that high. That's not a good hand. I'll keep the Legion Shield, though, if that's a great early card to have. I don't like this. It's like a reactive / controlling kind of hand a little bit, where it's really wanting him to make the first move, but that's not at all how I want to be playing with this deck. That, on the other hand, we can work with. See if he has an answer for that. Check the Giants games. All my friends are watching that. No score in the 6th. That's boring.
If I fall, the haste will be.
Alright. I got the answer to that, but that's good. It's a good play. Forces me to do this. It's never a bad thing to force your opponent to have to use cards, so... Even though it didn't kill my guy, it forced me to use really the only removal I had early. Like, the next level removals, like the Javelin, aren't going to help me for a little while. Speaking of, so I wonder if I let this I just leave this alone. I think that's what I do. and start a second lane. Just do that. Start a second front. The Russians just beg the Allies. Oh God, the Germans are just throwing 4 million troops in our direction. Could you guys help with anything? And the Allies said, no problem, we got Africa under control. And the Russians laughed at us. Now that's interesting. I think I'm gonna do this. Maybe it'd been better. I just made a little bit of a mistake because I should have attacked first, but he didn't hit a prophecy, so that's fine. Let's do that. And then I've got a javelin to kill any creature he might put in the way. That's never good, because that's always followed by... Well, not always followed by that, but that's pretty legitimate in its own right. I'll admit to that. That was a good turn for him. So I don't have another move card. I could kill this, but that seems like such a bad play.
You can't defeat me.
We'll hold, no matter what.
If I had this in the beginning of the turn, that would have been better. Well, would have been slightly better, because the only card I would have been able to play is, you know, like the Javelin or something. I don't want to do that.
Used to be an adventurer.
Sure. That's fine. Oh! He didn't... Yeah, he fucked up.
There's more to come.
That blows.
Shadows move in shadow.
No, this plays suck, but they happen. That's amazing. So I just go face, he's at 8 then? No, I don't go face with everything, that's a bad play. Take the free trade. This will go face. I could burn this and by killing this and just really putting pressure on him to have the answer right away. That might be the play. Holding on this will be really risky.
I bring reinforcements. I bring reinforcements.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. So part of the reason for that, if he Ice Storms here, it deals 3 damage to everything. That seems like a pretty strong play for him, but that's all of his Magicka. That kills his board, and my 2/4/4s are still around. So it doesn't, it just doesn't solve his problems as thoroughly as he needs them to. That was a really strong card to have. I mean, it really just puts this lane in a real bind. Looks like he's not gonna pop a rune. Might be a good play on his part. Genuinely, I don't know. And that's particularly unfortunate, but
Be on your guard.
he put that over there. That sucks. I'm really vulnerable to him right now.
If I fall,
Him getting this guy was critical for him. That's such a great answer to this situation. Really putting me in a top deck, and this was not the top deck that we needed. This might be my first loss here. But part of the reason you go really aggressive with this deck is, you know, I only need to get so lucky to finish them off, so we shall see. Interesting decision time for him. He's pretty much got this whole game under control, but he takes a lot of risks by letting me draw cards, but there's a lot of cards I can draw That like every turn I just get a card and play it, and then that card in itself is a kill condition.
My scales move in shadow.
Looks like he'll kind of play it halfway here. If I can get a javelin here, that'd be fantastic. Great time for a javelin. That's not a javelin. Oh well.
Don't make
I just have to hope he doesn't have anything. He was pretty careful last turn, so we'll see. Attack twice. What's that? Seems good to me. Yeah. That doesn't do it. He needs... We needs to do something else.
In shadow.
That's another mistake. If you... I mean, you might as well attack with that, not that, but... Alright.
Ladies and gentlemen,
4-0 so far. Not bad.
to ultimate glory.
Not bad. Not too bad at all. We didn't get either of the listeners last game, so we kind of had to win that one straight up, old school. Long queue for this one. I know my MMR is pretty high, but I don't think it's because I'm an exceptionally good arena player, or maybe I am compared to the average, only because, you know, the game's only been out for so long, so a lot of people just don't really know how to do this right. Like, basically, if you can draft green, just draft green. Not necessarily all the green cards, but having green as one of your two arena colors is just so superior over choosing non-green color cards in arena in the overwhelming majority of cases. Not too bad. I'd like a cup purse, but we can definitely settle for this.
I keep a spare blade in my boot.
Well, he's definitely not playing.
We must break through their ranks.
Now we're under some pretty interesting pressure to be aggressive here. We'd like to try to get value out of this Marshal, but that turn 1 play makes us... That turn 2 play makes that a little difficult. He's pretty clearly got the aggro here.
You'll pay for this.
These are Khajiit streets.
I'm under a little pressure, like, I need this to live. So this is the only way I could guarantee to get a rune off, to get value off the Crusader. This kind of sucks, but like it's all fine. It's not that big a deal. That'll help. Do I just kind of let this go? Yeah, fuck it. I'll dance. He's a little ahead of me, but this is a far more aggressive turn for me. That's a nice draw.
Khajiit has had enough.
I'm not gonna play it though.
Leave this place.
You'll pay for this.
We'll hold, no matter what.
That's a little bit of an iffy play, but the idea is just to make him waste one of these guys, particularly this one, just to help out like just that little bit. partially not. I didn't know that this was coming, but I knew that something was coming. Something like that was going to happen. This is a little rough. I can put that over there. And I'm going to choose to just not move anything.
Do your worst.
So that's definitely pressure. This will come into handy for... Okay. Now we just...
Leave this place.
Alright. So we got away with that.
I bring reinforcements.
Clear out.
Gotta get that value now. Because now I'm in a good position, but if I didn't make that trade, all I have to do is get rid of the guard and then just go boom, 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 and I'm dead. Now he needs a lucky roll out of this for sure. Face, face, face! Ah, that's fine.
Do your worst.
It's actually...
Sheet is done for.
Oh, he just scoops it up. Alright then. Five and 0.
A challenger triumphs. What challenge awaits next? Let's find out. Another combatant, another battle.
Surprised. I mean, I guess he didn't have any prophecies in his deck to bail out of that. I don't know. Because I have to pop one room before I can kill him in that turn, so I'm surprised he conceded. Oh well, what are you gonna do? You can't put javelins in your deck if they don't come up in the arena random numerical generator, or however that's officially pronounced. Definitely a little lucky though. He had such an aggressive early game. I feel like that turn where he put 2 soldiers, as good as it was, because he Divine Fervor is really strong because it's so rarely going to be destroyed in arena that you're just going to get the value out of it all game from the moment you play it to the moment the game's over. But if you play it early and you're not definitively on the offensive on the board, that's 4 mana at a very at a deciding point of the game that wasn't spent on anything, and sometimes that's a problem. You need stuff to do, and when your solution is make the guys on the board bigger, it's like, okay, but if making your guys on the board bigger in that moment in time does it definitively put you on the offensive, or definitively put you on the
Training is over. It's time.
on the put you in control of the game, then that 4 mana is going to be missed. Because while you're sitting there with a board that can't deal with enough of your opponent's threats and you're about to die, you're staring at what could have been.
You can't defeat me.
Yeah, we'll do that. Pretty nice opener. Really unlucky for him, he didn't have anything to do for 2 turns. That's a lot. That's 2 turns.
These are Khajiit streets.
Oh, hey, man. Yeah, on the one hand, I would say pretty much for sure that I like this game more than Hearthstone, but on the other hand, I would say there's a little bit of, give it a little more time to kind of marinate. But, in all the time I've spent playing it so far, I do think I've pretty definitively enjoyed the experience more.
At your service.
So we'll do that. Then I'm actually going to do this. Move that over just in case. This trade's not that special for him, but if he gets rid of it, he's going to kill this. Now that this is gone, he may have killed this anyway. I'm not sure. I mean, they're both pretty good, but yeah, man. I'm just like you, and probably the majority of people playing this game. That we all played Hearthstone, and a lot of us played Magic and. Hearthstone. I mean, Hearthstone's getting a little stale now, but that's not why I stopped playing it. It's just there's so little room for improvement in your ability to outplay your opponent in Hearthstone. And I think people that really pay... Like, there was a time where I was tryhard in Hearthstone. And for anyone that does try hard in Hearthstone, I have to imagine they all feel like they all try so hard to be good at the game, and so often it just ends up translating to very little. Just give me a card to prom here. I mean, he's gonna kill this, right?
You can't defeat me.
Yeah, fuck it.
We'll hold, no matter what.
They make it too easy.
No overload on this lane. There's a little risk here if he has a Cliff Racer, but I think that's the only card that really burns me.
There are ill winds this day.
That's pretty good. But I wouldn't say that burns me, because he wants to kill both of these probably pretty evenly, and he can only kill one. Yeah, the meta's like a separate problem. I think what Hearthstone happened is when they made the game, they knew that they would have to create formats. Like, it's a natural progression in any card game, unless the card game is definitively going to be any cards can be played. But I don't know how you can I don't know how you can create a game where all your cards are just forever constructed legal, and still people be excited enough to buy the new cards. So you have to make people keep buying the new product, and that's not Hearthstone's fault. I mean, they knew the problem was coming. They did pretty much, I'd imagine, as good as you could do. It's just, you know, the best that they could do is still no good.
Claws out.
It's pretty good.
Can't defeat me.
You know, Hearthstone just... I don't know what you do if you're Hearthstone, because the format's pretty stale. But if you make it so literally all of the standard legal cards are rotating, you're going to price out a lot of players that are trying to play the game without spending a lot of money, and it's obvious that their goal is to try to avoid that, which I think is a good idea. I just don't know how you do it right. Sure, we'll do one more. It's a little bit of a weird play, but it's just, I feel like this play puts him in position to take this game over if he has the right cards, but it forces it so what he has on the board is not going to save him. Like, that's not going to save him, but it could have been a card that saved him. Like, if I had this and, like, you know, some other pump card, but I didn't have, like, straight removal, this might have been the answer he was looking for. Unfortunately, it's definitely not. We'll draw a card first, just in case. And it looks like he whiffs, so there you go. With both those cards representing lethal, it'd be hard for him to prophecy out of that one. Maybe, maybe the House Carl. Maybe. 6-0.
We have a challenger.
But yeah, the meta is really the problem, and they started to address this, right? Like, they just had their patch update. Like, I haven't played Hearthstone in like 2-3 months, but I watch Crypt play it all the time just because Crypt's entertaining. Hearthstone's fun to watch because it's really easy to have on in the background because there's not a lot of depth to what's going on outside of a couple of the new cards. I don't know what they do, but you know, when you want to have all the classic cards be legal and you're not at a point yet where the new cards are all so overwhelmingly better than all of the classic cards, a lot of the same cards are defining standard, even though it's the first technical year of standard. The invention of standard, all it did was got rid of Goblins vs. Gnomes, really, and Naxxramas, which wasn't as important after they nerfed that one cost guy that was ruining the game. But you know, I don't know what you do if you're Hearthstone. Like, Hearthstone's got a huge identity crisis, I think, right now. They don't know if they want to be a seriously competitive game that's balanced, or if they just want to be a game that's for fun, that is at the expense of being viably competitive. You know, nobody watches their World Championship tournaments anymore, or at least this year they're not watching it, and that's because none of the professional streamers are on it. But the professional streamers aren't on it because they can't qualify because it's just a mouse race, and all these mice are running around in a little maze, and whoever can bump in the end and gets there. Because it's like if you stream all day Hearthstone, all day every day, you stream Hearthstone. It doesn't necessarily even if you are technically the best player in the world at Hearthstone, that ability is not going to translate itself into winning games because there's so few opportunities for your skill to be the definitive reason why you won and your opponent lost once you get to a certain point. Like, there's plenty of bad Hearthstone players, but assuming both players know what they're doing, but like one person has 10,000 hours and the other one has like 1,000, you know, if both those players played the same tier level of deck and played 1,000 games, the superior player might win like 520 of them. So it's hard to get that player. So, you know, if that player, somebody who streams all the time like StrifeCo or something, and everyone recognizes the name, but it's going to be very hard for him to make it in the tournament, so nobody's watching. But the tournament's set up as they're trying to do it is fair and balanced and actually competitively viable. Whereas the tournament they had before was an absolute horseshit. We're going to select who gets to be the pros, and who, you know, if you're the most popular streamers get to compete for the world championships, be declared the best Hearthstone player in the world. Doesn't make any fucking sense. I mean, it might as well be the WWE at that point, but you know, I don't know what they do. Do they acknowledge that they're a phony card game in terms of being competitive and just say, you know what, we're not a competitive card game, we don't want to be competitive, we don't want to be legitimate, this is not a legitimate professional scene, we're just fucking around to have fun, and we're going to handpick the people that are invited to all of our big tournaments for, you know, our official World Championship events, and that's just going to be it. Which might not be a bad decision because a lot of people will watch it, and it'll be a really popular thing to do. But you know, you're the WWE at that point. You're not real. Whereas Magic, you know, there's enough RNG in Magic with getting really unlucky with your draws. There's still at the same time, like I played Magic on the Pro Tour, and it's just, if you practice hard enough, you can get an edge over your opponents by being that much more prepared, because there's a lot of decisions that are made in the way that game is played to be able to overcome bad luck. In Hearthstone, you can't really overcome anything. That's a little worrisome. I have to think he has a wounding card to kill this. I mean, why would he do that otherwise? So, I mean, can you give this thing +2 attack? I don't really think so. It'd have to be a weapon, right? It's probably got a finish off or something. Or maybe even that. I'm gonna put this over here. We'll see what he does. We shall see.
This day shall be auspicious.
What? Oh, he's got probably Leaf Lurker. That would make more sense. So if he has Leaf Lurker, I don't like this at all. So I can't really play around the Leaf Lurker. The only thing I could do is get him the Leaf Lurker this instead, but the only way I could do that is to burn this, which might actually be the play. Alright, so that didn't hit, that's good. Okay. This guy is going to die, but I'm doing it to clear the path for this guy and to force him to use his last Magicka for the Leaf Lurker. I think that's what he has, but he just drew a couple of cards, so maybe now he's going to go a different path.
Let me lighten your load.
That's a great card for me right now. Wow. So that backfired in a major way, because the whole point of doing all that was to not have that happen to it. It was to get whatever plan he has to kill this card, I wanted to get it out of him, and I failed to do that here. It's alright. Not in trouble or anything. The game goes on, but... So now... And if he wants to trigger that, he has to have Javelin. But what do you Javelin here? Okay, so he did have something like that. I thought he would play that earlier if he had that, so it's a little unfortunate that he that now that is what he had, not Leaf Lurker, because now he has more mana and he can still do stuff, and you know, it's a little bit of a bummer. It's not that big of a deal, especially not after that. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14, 18. It's almost lethal. It is not lethal though, so we will not quite treat it like lethal just yet. Okay.
Tell me your injuries.
Good choice. Six. I can't kill him. And because I can't kill him, I can't even act like that's part of the plan here. I don't know, I killed that guy. Maybe I should have killed this. It's more it's one more damage, and him gaining. Even if he healed to like, no, I had to do that. I can't let him heal. Just in case he has multiple pump effects that somehow don't kill me, I can't let him heal. Oh, that's a bummer. He can't have lethal, so we'll do that. Him attacking with that means he doesn't have lethal, without playing an effect from his hand first. So now we just get to find out. Really, it's if he has removal for that, which he does. 7. Four. So 6. 1, 2, 3. So he's at 3, but I only have 3 mana left. 2. I don't have enough. I can't kill him. But this sets up lethal next turn, so we'll do that. We'll kill that. We'll actually do that. It eats up as much damage as humanly possible. And I don't think he can deal lethal here and kill that with 7 mana. Yeah. I think that does it. This card was a nice draw. We'll take that.
Your coin or your life.
Alright. 7-0, I think. Damn. That was a strong showing.
But ladies and gentlemen, we have our latest legend.
Yeah, and that's the interesting thing with Hearthstone is like if they decide that, you know, maybe they want, you know, maybe they keep the competitive scene the way it is and just acknowledge that it's not going to be a lot of viewership, but they can claim that they're a viable, serious, competitive player scene, and all the popular players go on all of the private third-party invitational tournaments, which are basically just exhibitions They don't. I don't watch any of them anymore. They don't. They literally mean nothing. I like watching people online that mean something. I don't mean like, oh, we're going to give away $10,000 to this to one of these 4 really popular streamers after they play a best of 4 tournament or whatever, and it's just I don't know. I'm not interested in that, but I'm massively in the minority. Most people are really, really into that. Dog, stop doing that. Here, come on. Ugh. Say hi to the stream. Yes, hi. I am Doug. I am very, very, very curious. Yes, you are. You're curious. This thing gets ripped out of my cord. Alright, let's up these packs and we'll start up another arena here. But yeah, I don't know. Invitational only tournaments are good for profits. Still, even though Blizzard doesn't see a dime of any of that because it helps keep the game popular. Hey! Dog, you need to stop. No. You need to stop. I know, you just want to be a part of the action, but you can't send the dog into her cage if she doesn't calm down. There you go. There you go. Chew on this. Yes. Good dog. But at the same time, like, is it the same people watching those invitational tournaments over and over? And so I remember the first BlizzCon was like really exciting. The one that Firebat won, like I watched it, I was really into it. Like I was really excited for it, and it was a little bit weird when the next year it didn't seem like the only name that I recognized was like Pimpingho or something like that. One of the Eastern players was like the only one that like I thought maybe I'd remembered from the year before. And obviously that's an issue because you want name recognition for these tournaments, but at the same time I still really enjoyed watching super competitive play. Like that was really interesting to me, despite the fact I didn't like this year. I watched most of the prelims that I could get around to watching, and it didn't really matter that I don't know any of the players. Like it ruins the viewership a little bit to me, but at the end of the day, the fact that they're playing with everything on the line, even though like watching them get super frustrated because the game itself is super RNG like and really, really punishing, and basically winning or losing off their yogs. It was still really entertaining to watch. Whereas invitational tournaments, like you watch them and like the big name streamers that you see playing in them, they don't even look like they care. Like they genuinely don't even look like they care. Some of the time, like they just look, because they know they're just going around. They're probably getting paid just to show up, or at the very least, just them being there is entertaining enough or valuable enough for them, because it's more exposure for them. So it's profitable for the streamers to play in invitation-only tournaments, regardless if they win or lose. It's profitable for the tournaments because they get to have their own third-party advertising and all that. And Blizzard doesn't get to see a dime from any of that. And their only benefit is to hope that it keeps the game popular, to keep people playing it. The game is really interesting, the way that internet games have gone now. Like esports trying to like pretend that it's like a real sport, and it's just not. Like first off, like watching like the international for Dota 2 is so weird because you don't root for, like, what team do you really root for? Like, do you really have a vested interest in these teams? Like, I don't really, like, I can root for what country they're from, but I don't really care. Except the Chinese got the tournament this year, so they took all that American cash and took it to the communist economy. So I could root for that. Keep the money out of the communist hands, I guess. I don't know. I don't really care that much. I don't even know if the Chinese care. Alright, I'm not going to do this for you all day. You know I'm busy right now, right? Yes. Doggy. Yeah, I've always been in favor of them just copying Magic the Gathering, where you have a pro tour qualifier that anybody could play in, but you charge them, so it's not like you have 25,000 entrants every single Pro Tour qualifier that takes 6 weeks to complete, you charge like $40, $50, $60 even. I mean, that's an absurd amount of money, but that means the only people playing in it are people that are really serious about being competitive. So you can actually finish it in a day, so that's fine. And you use that money to fund the prize pool, so you don't have to pay for it. You go to the Pro Tour. If you do well at the Pro Tour, depending on how well you do, you automatically get qualified in the next one or a couple of them to follow. And, that contribute, that way you kind of have, like when Firebat wins, he's automatically in next year because he won the previous year. While at the same time, an overwhelming majority of the it's still not an invitation tournament. It's invitation tournament, but you win the invitations by playing the game and winning. So I'm not gonna, Firebat's not gonna get invited because he's a streamer. He's gonna get invited because he had to grind his way to get there, and then once he got there, he won. And then he has to keep winning like a certain percentage of the time, not first place, but you got to place in like the top X percent every X amount of times to keep getting invites. And then if you eventually get kind of knocked out, then you just work your way right back in. But Magic's a game where you can play skillful enough to get, for the best players, to get into the Pro Tour on a regular basis, regardless if they're invited or not. And Hearthstone, you just can't do that. The game has so little ability for the player who is the better player to actually win the game. Because you can't play 300 million games between every player to definitively declare who the better player is. It's not going to happen. So the RNG is going to determine who gets to play in these tournaments, but I still think that's the way to go. And you have like 4 or 5 Pro Tour events every year that have several hundred players. You could be spectating, or you're broadcasting it, showing like the highlight match, and the highlight match could be the biggest names that you can find out in the field. Like, that's okay. The tournament itself is legitimate, while at the same time the players actively on the broadcast are, as often as possible, recognizable names that people are interested in. So you can do both in that respect to get viewership, and at the same time, be legitimate. But and then you have the Worlds tournament where Magic, I don't know exactly how the World tournament work. I think it's the Pro Tours and the Grand Prix. You accumulate points within doing well in those tournaments, and the ones who get the most points are invited to the Worlds tournaments. Basically, like you have Magic that spent, Wizard of the Coast has spent 20 years not only refining the game, but refining the scene, the business model. When the business model doesn't really apply to Hearthstone because it's a computer game, it's a wholly different business model. But the competitive scene, you can more or less just copy what they do. But how do you have Pro Tour events? How do you organize that? The in-game client can't do it. You really want to have a third? Like, I hate playing in card game tournaments right now. Alright, you're gonna need to go in the cage because you're just way too happy right now and you won't leave me alone. Actually, I'll just let you outside for a few minutes. Sorry about that. If Hearthstone, I don't like how a lot of these card games, the tournament scene is people going on to you go onto a third-party website, it matches you up with an opponent, presumably at random, then you have to add them on your friends list and then challenge them, and then report it on the website when you're done, and just, assume that everything is all dandy. Hey, Exeries, man, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. It seems so unbelievably shady to me. Like, there's so many layers where that could be messed up. Either, there's a he said, she said, then you have to save screenshots or save video of your match to confirm. I'm not saying this is a big problem, but just having a system where, common issues are so easy for them to come up. Your opponent's not ready when you are. You have to wait for them. Each round takes forever because you're dependent on everyone using that system, when they could just make an in-game system in the game that just does it all for you. And you could let third parties host tournaments inside your game. Super easy. I mean, fucking Warcraft 3 did that stuff. It's like, okay, today we're having a 2-on-2 tournament sponsored by Intel Inside and their new Pentium 4 processor. God, dating myself now. But you could do that, and that will use the in-game client, which forces everything to keep speeding along. You know, the game knows who won and who lost. And if an independent party wants to either sponsor it or run their own event with their own rules, just go ahead and do it that way. But that's not what Hearthstone is. And apparently, I've heard rumblings about this. I've only done a little bit of research, but apparently one of the reasons there's not a lot of features in Hearthstone is because the way that they designed the software, it is not flexible or not easy for them to make a lot of changes. Specifically, like, they can't, like, the work that it takes for them to, like, add in an in-game tournament feature, supposedly, like, it's not as easy as it sounds. Like, it actually takes a lot. Like, that's why when they did that thing where they doubled the deck slot list, like, apparently that took a ton of work based on the design, and they designed it to be super simple and keeping the options kind of as minimal as possible, so it's really easy to use on a tablet or a smartphone. And they've done that. They've done a really good job at that. But the game is not. The game does not have things it should have if they want it to be a serious, like, competitive game. And I hate going on some third-party grainy websites and just, you know, grinding with thousands of people. It just seems like a complete disaster. I don't know what to take here. This card's been good for me at times. If you're a deck that's more aggressive, you're not going to have a lot of times where you play this card as just a 3/3. But at the same time, you want it to at least be a 5/5 to be basically worth the 5 mana. To get value, you want it to be bigger than a 5/5. And that's a little hard to do. So for that, I'll take the Vulture. A little bit of a close call, though. I like both cards. Golden Saint is solid. Probably take that. Seems pretty easy. Take a bat. Now I'll take a Racer. Racer's really good. Take that last time. It's weird, like, Scouting Patrol's not that great, but when it is great, it would be because I had cards like Finish Off. Well, I got 5th Legion Trainer already. Yeah. It's the best card of the options, right? It's not that good. Yeah, I can imagine. Like, I watched CFGO a little bit, not like super intently or anything, but I could definitely see how that game has so many challenges trying to minimize the hacking, especially for third-party events. Because how many third-party events are legitimately going to give a damn about cheating unless it's like a widespread epidemic that people complain about? Because if a third party hosts an event, all they care about, literally all they care about is making money. They don't care if the game looks bad. You know, if the tournament ends up being a tournament that gets a ton of viewership and a ton of clicks on their advertising sponsors, but, you know, a lot of people are pissed off that the game was rigged, so in the future, you know, they don't like how, you know, they don't like that the game was rigged or something. The third party doesn't care. They got all their money. And, you know, maybe it impacts their ability to run future events, but there's so many of them, and they all are kind of running like sleazy, I don't know, just not good. I think we'll go there. Spiralar's not that good. I just don't like this card. I've seen this card played before, like it's supposed to be okay, but I just don't think it's that great. Probably take a Reaper there. Looks like we're going to be playing a much slower deck this time for sure. Take a Crocodile. Well, I say slower, and then we get a chance for this. This deck is not that aggressive right now, which is its problem. This card is just not that good from behind. I don't know if it's good in this deck. Oh, really? Wow. So the third party stepped up and actually upped their game to have a better system. That's awesome. I love it when that happens. And honestly, like, if Hearthstone was a truly viable competitive scene led by the third parties, and they like inspired the Hearthstone devs to actually like, you know, make the game better in certain ways, then I'd be all for it. It's just so many of those invitational tournaments, well, at least for Hearthstone, obviously looks like Counter-Strike's a different issue, but at least for Hearthstone, it's just like a constant money grab. Here's today's, you know, hourly invitational only tournament with 4 big name streamers, you know, playing for $5,000 or $10,000 with occasionally some gimmick attached to it. Maybe it's not that bad of a thing, it's just it gets old. I gotta take the spawning. This card is just situationally good, but it's not like... My deck is not going to be a deck, it looks like, that's going to table enough minions to consistently make this good. And this card is just not that good. It dies to so much. But it does fit into my force up it. We'll take the spawning. Take the cut purse, that's an automatic. Our 5 slot's a little heavy, so we'll take the Legionnaire. Crushing blow. Phew. I think we gotta take the Marauder here. This is definitely be more of a mid-rangey deck, a lot different deck than we drafted last time. And in order to do that, this card's just not that good. If I'm way behind against an aggressive deck, it's a nice late drop if he has to attack into it to kill it. This card, it makes a dude and then I heal a little bit. It's okay, that was kind of nice. This card just might be broken. Marshall might not be that good here. I just don't have a lot of assurances to trigger that summon, so I'll take the Cliff Racer. This just got interesting. This card's not that amazing, cause he forces your opponent to contest it early. But what's nice about him is he forces your opponent to contest it. But because this isn't a very aggressive deck, it's not that good. This card's actually not terrible. And Dawn's Wrath is also not terrible. We're running a slower deck. Maybe I take the Wrath. My 5-drop's already heavy. We're going to take the Wrath. See what happens. Getting a lot of expensive stuff here. I'll be honest. I do not like it at all. I don't like these picks at all either. I guess the Prefect, because if I have a board, I can really do some stuff with them. I mean, these guys are just individual dudes you play. It's like big deal. But either way, this is not turning out that good. Another Golden Saint. I might have to take this, though. I need 4 drops really bad. You know, this is my only 6 drop. My 5 slot is just so heavy. And again, my deck's not that aggressive, so the ability to get the summon is not a given. We'll take that. Here we'll take the Ransack just because of the Prophecy. If I'm behind, I'll definitely need it. Take the Invader. It's not that good, but he's a 4-drop. We kind of need him. Moonlight Werebat. That is absolutely what we need. This is a little more interesting. Can't take that. This is just not that kind of deck. Triggers Last Gas. I mean, I don't even have that many Last Gas. By not many, I mean 0. I don't think I have one. Yeah. I think I'll take the Dawnbreaker, honestly. That might actually be a pretty good pick. This one's about... I don't have a lot of white. I have okay amount of white, but... Or yellow, I mean. Mixed up with magic here. We'll take the Shield Mage. Javelin or Cut Purse? Javelin... We have a Javelin already. We may not need, or we might just need the early game a little bit more. I'm going to take the Cut Purse. We need early game threats as much as we can get. Take the Nimble Ally. Here we'll take a Finish Off. That seems fair. Another early game dude. Now maybe we take Saint number 2. We've gotten some early game. This is a nice later game drop to kind of put the clamp on things. I don't like having 2 trainers, because if you drop both trainers, you just feel so weak. Take the Saint. And thank you, Taskmaster. I don't know if this deck's going to win as many games, but this deck's going to be a lot more fun. Just because it has the late game. It has late game to really kind of get excited about. Whereas the other deck I was playing, even though it went 7-0 and it was super strong, really all I'm doing the entire game is playing everything I can and just hoping to God that it gets there. And it's really good, so it got there 7 times and failed to get there none, but, you know. It's always not an easy feeling when your whole game plan is just going all in, hoping that it works out. Oh, avatar choose? Well, I'll tell you, if you're really concerned about playing constructed, then you want to pick an avatar. If you really like playing aggro and constructed, then the avatar I've selected, the archer, is not bad, or the assassin, blue-green, because those are pretty aggressive colors. I mean, there is at least a modestly semi-viable deck for every color combo, so you don't have to worry about too much. Like, if there's something you really want to do, just pick that. But if you really want to put yourself ahead to building like a super competitive deck, like if you want to play control, you go blue-white. This hand is mediocre. Not terrible though. I get rid of the Saint. I would have liked something a little cheaper than the Prefect, but it's good to have the Magicka here. If I didn't have the Magicka, this hand would not be that good at all. Well, now it's even better. I'll just ignore that thing. Make him sack to it.
Die, Outlander.
Shall we begin?
Alright. Ooh, another one.
Padgett has had enough.
Put another one.
Too easy.
I'm just putting pressure on him to have removal in his hand. If he's got removal in his hand, great, but he has to have stuff in his hand right now. That's not bad, but well, I say not bad, it's actually amazing.
There is a toll for this road.
And that, alright. That sucks a little bit.
Padgett has had enough.
We'll do that. If he has removal for this to make this bigger, it's a little worrisome. But otherwise, I feel like I had to do that. He just had to... I can't let him draw cards because I'm just going to fall behind if he starts drawing cards and controlling the board at the same time. So he still dominates the board and does what he wants, but at least I denied him a resource, kind of.
Awaiting your command.
I did this because I don't want this guy to interrupt my ability to dig out of this, and I want this guy by himself can kill that and then kill that,
Die, Outlander.
which is not a bad spot to be in here. That's not terrible. That helps. Start getting these guys off the board. Yeah. Not a lot I can do there. That's a great draw. I'm just slowing him down at this point. I'm gonna get... I mean, it's a great trade for him here. I'm gonna get hurt here pretty bad, but at least I have the answer. This turn I need his turn this turn to be slow. That's the important thing here. If he has a strong turn here, I'm in a little bit of trouble. Yeah. That's a problem. That's a great draw. I needed that. Pretty good. Now we're in business a little bit. I'm still way behind, but I'm in a situation where I could come back. Gotta start there. Probably better that I took the 3 there. Keep myself at 12.
comes with me.
Maybe it was a little weird that I did that. Damn. That blows. Breakthrough's not that big a deal. I'm okay with that. We'll do that. I'm gonna hang on to this because I don't want to. I just don't want to give him the automatic easy trade for one. For nothing. So I feel like I need to extract as much value as I can on my next turn here. So I'm probably gonna play the Prefect, and then with the Scouting Patrol before it. That's actually. Actually, that doesn't change my turn at all. That's different, though. That's really disappointing. So, I'm not dead on board. The only thing I don't like about this play is it's like, so what? I still think this is the play. As bad as this play is, I feel like it's the only play I have. And we'll do that. So I'll gain the 3, and then I can make the trade. And then hopefully these are both like a 4 and a 5 drop that cost 9, and he just dumps them both over here or over here. Yeah, story mode's actually kind of fun. I don't mind it. Like, I'm after about like chapter 8 or 9, maybe I start to get a little sick of it because I tend to be a little impatient with story modes in games like this. Because I just don't care about the story mode in a game like this. Like, I'm staring at it thinking this is not why I'm playing this. But at the end of the day, it's all good. So I can either wipe here, kill this 4/4 or this 4/4.
Acknowledged.
Well,
I hear and obey.
this is gonna get a little ugly.
This was a worthy contest.
Yeah, he's got it. Not that I expected him not to have it in this situation, but, you know, he just came out way too fast. I thought my hand was decent, but decks like mine are like you do not want a deck that curves out in this game at all for Arena. The more you could disrespect the late game in your deck, the better it seems like, because it just means you're going to be that much more aggressive. And like that turn 7, 8, and 9, where you're playing 2 cards instead of 1, even though it's the rest of your hand, it doesn't matter if your opponent's hand's better than yours. If you can play all of your cards first, you'll probably have a lot more success. Yeah, this is an 0-3 deck. This is a bad deck. I don't think I screwed it up that much. I didn't have a lot of early game opportunity in my drafting, but this deck is not very good. Oh well. What do you do? Though my opponent's also pretty slow, that's not terrible. I do not like this deck. Huh. Alright. Oops. Well, if he's also going to have nothing...
If I fall, the haste will reclaim me.
I'm a little surprised by that, but okay. It's like, cool, that's great, you know. It's an answer to the card that I play and do stuff, but just it does seem like killing a 3/2 is not. See, now that play is a little bit better. Question is, do I? Yeah, I think I do protect it. Does he have another answer? He does. That is not a bad answer. That is not a bad answer at all. That's a good draw for next turn. Now we can play the kind of mid-range game, which is where my deck is designed pretty well. Next turn should be pretty fun. Well, it's no longer as fun as it would have been, but it's still not terrible.
We must break through their ranks.
It's got a perfect Reaper play over here, but it opens them up over here all the same, so that's okay. Wow! Alright. You know what? How badly do I want to get this on the board right now? I feel like pretty badly. So we do that. No.
Training is over. It's time to
Fight
act.
for all Skyrim.
So we'll take that. Then we'll do that. Not bad. I mean, you would think getting the Maple Shield's pretty weak there, but in that particular situation, that's about... We're pretty much about what I could have asked for.
And itches.
Can't do much better. So look, might be able to get this one. Must have just drawn these cards. Pretty unlucky. So he cannibalizes that straight up. So I have lethal if I just do... Okay. So I gotta do this.
For Skyrim.
So that's fine.
My honor. A fine display.
He just didn't have an answer. Any removal in his hand. That's the only thing I like about green-purple in Arena. A lot of your removal is either weakening their minions, their creatures, or silencing them,
Ultimate glory.
which aren't bad, but they don't get the creatures off the board.
We have another.
So like even like he played like when he played that the 2/2 silence mummy guy, yeah, it was great. It was an answer, but it didn't like my 5/4 just turned into a 3/2. The vulture guy, it didn't kill him. And then of course that creature never ended up getting off the board the rest of the game. You know, he didn't know the Marauder was coming. You can't stop that, but just the value in being able to physically remove a target from the board rather than simply removing a particular effect when you're spending around the same mana can really hold you back. I mean, on the one hand, it was, you know, it's no Javelin because it costs 4 instead of 5, and you get 2/2 out of it. Hooray. You know, congratulations. You want to kill stuff, that's sure. Could have skipped the last rune. Yeah, you might be right.
This should be interesting.
Could I? Yeah. I think if I really bun down the math, maybe you're right. I did a quick math count, and it didn't seem like I could have. There's definitely, it's definitely not inconceivable that I missed it. Can't do anything this turn. Kind of mid-rangey, but if he comes out,
They make it too
ooh,
easy.
well, that's fairly aggressive. All right.
Awaiting your command.
If he can remove this, which is really hard to do, the fact that this guy has 4 health is what makes him really difficult. But
Let me hear.
okay, that's fine. That's not so fine. If I can get that trigger, that'd be good.
Mercy.
That'll do. Let's see what happens there.
'Cause it has had enough.
That's a great draw.
My scales move in shadow. Just follow the shadow of blood.
Is this better? So if I go Cliff Racer here, the whole board is gone, and really I just have this guy at 2 health, which doesn't seem that great. Versus having this guy really as a 3... it's a 3-3 versus a 3-2. But this way allows me to save a Magicka and save the Cliff Racer for the following turn. So I think that's rare, because I don't have a lot to play after the Cliff Racer in the short future, so...
The forest is ours. The forest is ours.
We will do that.
For honor and glory.
Well, my guy's at 7-3, so... there is that. He will be bigger. I mean, he's not likely to play an undead out of those cards. I don't even know if it's possible, so no reason to save that.
My scales move in shadow.
More and glory.
Yeah. Yeah, you're probably right. I think, you know what I think it was? I think it was because I had the ability to get a weapon. I felt so strongly that, I just want to see what my next... I want to see what the next weapon is, and that kind of clouded me from focusing on the actual objective of winning the game. So, in that respect, you're probably right for sure. I mean, you're not probably right. You are right, but that was probably why I didn't see it. I was just interested in seeing the weapon. Because when you get that card and you're for sure you're gonna get to go off. It's almost like the curiosity of the RNG effect. Like, ooh, because you're so curious of what you were gonna get. Well, that's not very nice. Making this trade just feels so rough. But it's not the ideal turn to have an answer to that, so... Let's just do this first. Want to make sure he didn't have something coming there.
For honor and glory.
Do I do that? He probably kills one, so I have one left. 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I think I do it.
Your orders.
I got this for next turn. I also have this for next turn. I got this in case it doesn't go well. That's a little bit of a bummer. But it ended up working out well because I'm pretty sure he had no interest in doing that. So the fact that he had to could not have been very appealing to him.
Acknowledged.
Figure deal 2 damage, give him a rune, then have him at 11 because it just opens up the possibilities for me to kill him here. Oh, that's sad. Still not a bad spot.
Ill wins this day.
Fair enough. That's not terrible.
I hear and obey.
They make it too easy.
Calculated BM. Yes. It was all part of the plan. Always part of the plan. Alright.
I'll kill you where you stand.
Interesting draw. So, I can't kill him. Obviously, a rune could be popped here. I think it's throw this guy down. 8 damage, that's 11. He's unlikely to have 11 damage in his hand with 10 mana. He already played his ogre, so part of the tricks in his bag he's already used up. I think it's the play.
We fight for all Skyrim.
Acknowledged.
That's an amazing draw. We'll just see if he can stop it. Oh, he needs 9 damage, not 11. I did the math wrong. Sorry, I've been drinking. 9 damage is really hard for him to do. If it was like 7, then it'd be really... 7's not that hard for him to do. But 9 is... After using an ogre, 9 is challenging. You could do it, but... yeah. I thought it was this guy when I played him. I threw him over here, like, waited to click it. Like, oh, I can't do it. Alright. I'm assuming you...
This is my strength and my courage.
Okay.
Close ranks. Let nothing through.
I'll kill you.
That is a little interesting to me. Well, that's game.
Into the breach.
I mean, just in case I somehow did the math wrong. We'll do that. Otherwise, this is going to be a Dawn's Wrath play and just clear the board. Or not clear the board, I'd play the Shield Master and my guy over here on the right would live, the Cuppers.
Another combatant.
With only 1 health, so I wouldn't expect it to live, but that would have been a better play and just ride on that next turn. But it turns out that was unnecessary. How that first game went so badly, I thought it was just going to be a quick 0-3 or 1-3 route, but Deck's rebounding a little bit, getting a couple of wins. The Duck's been quiet out there for a while. I'll be right back, guys. Hey, girl. How's it going? Yeah. Good dog. Alright. We just play this guy? Was this the guy that completely blew me out? I don't think so. Not a great hand. I mean, you don't want to get rid of this and then find out that you only have a 4-drop in your hand, but give me something cheaper. There's that something cheaper. I need that 3rd card to get there, but we got there. We got a 2-drop. This hand is pretty awful, though,
Guide me.
for sure.
Greetings.
But so far so good. We're 1 turn in and he hasn't done anything yet. We'll see how slow his start is overall.
Ifra, guide me.
We're doing that all day, huh? Ugh. No 4-drops either. When you're behind, I think Cliff Racer is really important to have, just to be able to kill the things he plays. This really sucks, but I'm going to play this over here. The reason I'm doing this is because I do feel like I'm because even at turn 5, I'm going to start to slow down for a couple of turns. So I feel like whatever good minion he might want to play, he will have wanted to play it over here. And if he does that, I have no way to get to it. Interesting he decided to go that path. So that might have been a mistake, but that was my thought, is if he had a big minion to play, or a big creature to play for 4 or 5, and he put it over here, I have no way to get to it with the Cliff Racer. Now I do. Actually, I can do this. Yeah, it pops a rune, but over the course of the game, it'll add up to be more damage. Alright. It's cute. I don't know if I love it, though.
The mortal shall tremble before me.
This next follow-up turn will be pretty interesting. Like, could I just ride this to victory with this? Kill that. We've gotten lucky with the Ransack so far, hitting on a couple of prophecies. Definitely, that pick has definitely paid off here so far. Oh, that's too bad. I think it's the right play. A little bit of an attrition game right now. We'll just play into it. Like, we've got the cards to play the attrition game, and if he's holding like an aggressive hand that he's waiting for clearing the put on, we can punish him. But in order to punish him, we have to secure one side of the board to force him to commit to the other. That is unfortunate. However, we can deal with it. No, I think it's better to just do this. I think this play's better. I thought about the prefect play, but this play just seems better, so I have a better board. And I'm a little more Magicka efficient. So now next turn I can do this and this if I want to. Please miss.
Light on the problem.
Damn. Damn. And he's got something. Wow. That's a pretty nice draw. So is that. So would I play this? Yeah, let's just do that. We're gonna. I think the giant bat here is happening. Like, that just seems like a natural progression of things here. Like, why would I not do that? Well, I mean, I could opt to just trade and stick to the plan here. But what would be the point of that? I don't know. I think it's played safe for now.
We must break through their ranks.
Yeah, that was much better. Having about equal representation of threat on both boards. This one's a little more appetizing, but I'm pretty comfortable with it. That's fine. So is that. Now I mean, it forces the Reaper, but I'm okay with that.
You'll pay for this.
Be on your guard.
Okay. A little annoying, not the end of the world. I still think this is the play. Stop him from getting any value out of that. Even though this lane's going to be a little he's pretty much got this lane secure. I mean, I'll still have it, but I'll have a pretty weak creature to keep it. Wonder if he trades. That'd be questionable if he trades. I'm not sure.
A fine display. A fine Victory display is yours.
Yeah. Being able to to stop him from getting more guards there was definitely a deciding factor.
Another step closer to ultimate glory. Ladies and gentlemen.
Alright, 3-1. We're not doing too bad. Not doing too bad at all. We're 10-1 so far tonight. That's pretty good for arena runs. But, I mean, you can only take so much credit when you're going green-white. But I'll take it nonetheless. No, no, no. That's a little better. Wouldn't love this, but I'll take that. Well, if he comes out super slow, this will be pretty good. I doubt that, though. We'll see. See what he does with this.
They make it too easy. If I fall, the Hist will reclaim me.
If that's his answer, I think I have to do this. And the drain will help try to solidify a Golden Saint. This isn't a great turn 4 play, but it's not terrible if I'm ahead. And if he can't kill this, if you can't kill this, then all the more reason I'd probably be ahead to play this. Not bad. Maybe I don't play this at all now. So if I play it, he trades evenly over here, and it forces me to do this to protect this one. Or I could just play this and have 2 threats he can't kill. I'd rather do that.
To the mud we all return.
Yeah, I'd rather just do that. Now he has to play additional resources to kill either one of these. Alright, so it'll be that. Alright. Maybe in this case, I'd be better off. So I did that because it doesn't let him draw a card, but it more or less maintains the same level of aggression. Plus, it has a 4 health, so we can't crushing blow it.
Useful to use her enemy's strength against them. Fall before a Nazi.
Okay.
They make it too easy.
If I can draw the 1 javelin I have, this would be quite dandy. Never mind. Still a pretty good draw.
They make it too easy.
Sure. Have fun with that. If he wants to force that through, he'll have to waste resources doing it. And I can do this to try to backdoor finish that off. If I have to. Fair enough. It's fair. Seems fine with me. With this to be able to back it up, that seems pretty solid. pretty solid.
Awaiting your command.
Alright. I mean, I think it's going Saint, right?
Acknowledged. I hear and obey.
Seems like the right play to me. I think we could have had 3 of these cards. And a Marshal. But I feel pretty content. I think we have 2 in the deck. Pretty content with that. I think we got a little lucky with the aggression we've been able to pull out of this deck and being able to secure the summon trigger. I'm not complaining, but I think we're hitting it a little more than we statistically could expect. But I do wonder also if a lot of people that are drafting this, I think one of the mistakes people make drafting Arena in this game is treating it too much like Hearthstone and thinking that the same principles apply when they just don't.
The Hist will reclaim me.
So, oh, he's dead. Not gonna miss that one. I almost did though. I had alternative plays that were pretty solid. Obviously that play, yes, if he hits good off the prophecy, it could punish me, but I'd still be in such a strong position there that it just doesn't even matter. So we shall take it. Definitely worthwhile.
Lower the gates.
Actually, I can keep that hand. If I have the coins to be able to come out super aggressive early on, and this could really make this hand make it something. But he got a pretty good hand, so I doubt that I'll be able to get away with that too much. See how he contests. That's a nice draw though, because it gives me a turn 3 without having to use up a Magicka there. If we decide to. I will take that.
Awaiting your command.
God, this guy seems so mediocre because he's a 3/4, but he is so good. Like so hard to kill early in the game. Like in this situation, he could have a crushing blow in his hand right now, can't do anything. Could have an execute, can't do anything with it. Anything else he could have, he doesn't have enough mana for. Well, that's kind of annoying.
For honor and glory. By Stendar's mercy.
Alright, we got the roll. And of course I did it in the wrong order there. Attack, then attack, hold that until the end. Yep. I just lost the game.
A fine display.
That's all my fault too, that's all on me.
You have my thanks.
Doing that in the wrong order like that.
Had enough.
So I did just get that. Suppose maybe I do concede these games a little too quickly. I just get so mad at myself when I fuck it up like that. I think this is a good play. Oh my god. Such an awful item for that situation. Oh my god, that was bad. That is just not where we want to be right now. That could not have gone worse.
I do love a good fight.
Well, he had a pretty weak turn there, so that's fine. So I think we got, I mean, we don't really have a choice. We gotta do this. Actually, I could be really greedy here. So if I make this trade, I can't trigger the guard off that for the following turn. Not that it really matters if I put it over here, it's a dead play anyway. But then I really don't have anything else to do right now. My hand is not that good otherwise. But if I go face with this, I have a chance to dominate this game. I'm gonna do that. Yeah, not the best, not the worst though either. Puts pressure on him to have another javelin after he already had one. And I could just do that. I'll take that. I just got rewarded by itself for that. Because now my Golden Saint will trigger. It contests the board. It's great. So the risk definitely seems to have paid off. It's a good delay by him. But, oh, it's 13-13. So I don't get the delay triggers. I'm bad at math, but that's okay. That's fine. We got it. That's fair, but it does not deal with the threats he's currently looking at here.
Come dance with death.
Pretty good draw for us. I suppose I could have put that over here to be able to make the trade if I decide to do that, because he's already attacked with both of them. This right here was part of the reason I did that. It seemed like that outcome right there was possible. Alright, so we'll do that. We'll take that trade. And we'll take this trade. And we'll do that and finish him off.
This was a worthy contest. A fine display.
I didn't think I'd win that. Didn't happen so much in this game. Surprise wins.
Another combatant, another battle. Combatants, begin!
For this deck, that's a decent opener. It's not like an amazing early game, but it's an early game that can test his early game. Which is about as good as I can do. And I drew this, which pretty much guarantees that we can be the aggressor in the early game if we choose to, if they didn't do something like that. That's a real shame. I can't get that if I do that.
Ifra stands with me.
I'll get the value out of it, but that's okay.
Confound you! Your time has come.
Wounded enemy in the lane.
The forest is ours.
I actually kind of like this play.
Just follow the trail of blood.
He can't deal with it. He doesn't have a javelin right now.
By the divines, I will have your head.
I'll kill that so fast. Yeah, that's not that's not happening, buddy. Totally respect it. Not happening.
Meet your doom.
The forest is ours.
Your orders.
I'll get great value for this trade if he doesn't want to do this first. And now the Golden State looks fairly likely to summon here.
There's a plan.
We'll see.
There's always a plan.
I draw power from these trees.
Soldiers report.
Your orders.
He's gonna make some dudes. I respect that.
Farewell, fool.
I don't have a great target here, so I'm not. I don't want to do that. Is there? What could he do if I make this trade right here? I'm giving up a lot of damage to do that, but it might be worth it. He's not playing green, so I don't have to worry about some of the obvious things. I think it's a good. I think that's the right play.
The breach. The forest is ours.
And just sit. I'm not wasting the one javelin in the deck. There's no targets out there right now.
Acknowledge.
Rye-skin fool.
It's got to be that.
Into the breach. Meet your doom.
The forest is ours.
Yeah, he's got the mana from the hit speaker, and I can't really deal with it. But if he really wants to contest by just
I would protect the hist. Rye-skin fool.
I see. So I can play both these.
Meet your doom.
That's not. I don't really want to do that though, do I? No.
Acknowledge.
Actually, I kind of do.
The forest is ours.
It's not a great situation, but there's still a world in which
Training is over. It's time to act.
You won't foil my plan.
wow. All right. So we know there's no reason to do it. I think Dawn's Wrath has to be the play here, because he's just going to start playing things over here, and I'm 2 turns behind and not doing anything. The only thing I could do is if I play this here, or not play, if I attack here, and if I attack there, no.
The forest is ours.
Actually, this is the play. I probably should have made that trade because it would have secured that, but interesting sequence there from him.
Who's causing trouble?
He put that in the wrong lane. He doesn't know it though.
You can't defeat me.
Swing for face, I dare you. I actually got a pretty good situation here.
The forest is ours.
Seems fine.
The night is mine.
Now that blows. 7. I can play all 3 of those.
They make it too easy.
We fight for all Skyrim.
I think that's the right play. Because I'm not going to pop any runes for a while, so this is not particularly valuable at the moment. But it gives me a lot of outs to kill this guy. Unless he doesn't attack with it. And even if he does that, I still have a kill. I'll take that. Thank you very much. Yeah, I should put that over here. Yeah, that might have been a mistake. Maybe not, though.
We must break through their ranks.
I'll settle for that. We shall settle. Alright, so yeah, he top decked removal. Okay. Kill next turn.
Confound you.
Soldiers, report.
Your orders.
Okay. Alright, that should do it. If you somehow had an answer to this dilemma.
You'll pay for this.
We have another a challenger.
Pretty close to a second consecutive 7-win arena run.
Find out.
Pretty good.
These warriors want nothing more than to please you with blood.
More green-white. In case you weren't sure if green-white was overpowered in arena. Love the giant bat here for sure.
Khajiit is ready to help.
What? Okay.
We must break through
Just
the
gonna let that sit there by itself. I mean, I could kill it with that if I really care. There's a lot of trades to make with that. I don't need to do anything with it. Unless he moves it.
There is a toll.
That would hurt a little bit.
My claws are sharp.
That is annoying.
You'll pay for this.
I can't stop that. So I'll give him the opportunity to make favorable... to control the terms in which his guy dies. Or he could draw a card, but be forced to play removal or he gets nothing. Which is what he elected to do. Smart man.
Sharp.
If I fall, the hiss will reclaim.
Wow. Now that's annoying. And I drew incredibly poorly this turn.
You'll pay for this.
Rough turn here. Rough sequence of draws not having a turn 4 play of particular note, but
My claws are
he's going to do it. Alright.
If I fall,
Well, I got
in the flames.
the outs for it now, so now I'm not as concerned about it, but gotta start that card draw. Though he's a little ahead of me right now.
claws are sharp.
2-6, that's not easy to kill. And there you go. That's not very nice.
The mortal shall tremble.
I love this play. Nice removal here. Gives me the option to get value out of this here. While I'm still a turn away from Dawn's Wrath or Tazcad.
Don't make me laugh.
Nice answer for him though.
Chaos.
Though I could still do both of these, which is 100% what I'm gonna do. So what I could do, either this guy dies, or I can make this guy a wounded threat over here. I can't do both. I think I let this guy die.
Into the breach.
I do that. That goes there.
Just follow
I'll finish that off. I'm doing this just in case he wants to take the opportunity to make what I'm assuming is going to be a mistake by not killing. Yeah, he's going to make that kill.
My claws are sharp.
If he didn't do that, it'd seem like a bad play for him. That's annoying. I can deal with it though.
Khajiit has had enough.
I don't know why that's particularly special. I don't even know why it's good. So we gotta do that. I can do this for this. Or what I really want to do, which is do this. I mean, it pops a rune, but the ability to kill both with the same creature seems really strong here.
My claws are sharp.
The forest is my cloak.
That's a little disappointing. Can't do anything to kill that just yet. I think he's got it though. That weak turn 4 I think really put me back. Just not having any viable plays to make. Oh please oh wow, that's your only play. That's not what you want to be doing right now, bud. Okay, so I can do that. I could finish off just to then be able to do this and have a presence on both lanes, which might be really important. Or I can... I'm going to do that, actually. So I still have the Javelin. I mean, the idea behind this is I got to put threats on the board. So often when you don't attack, you're just not making yourself having to have that much better of a situation than you would have had.
To use her enemy's strength against them.
Right. You know, what are you gonna do in this game? Have to do that. I could. I'm actually in position. If he...
They make it too easy.
It does actually force him to draw something or he dies. He probably has it. That's not it. That was what I didn't want him to have. I still got it though. Wow.
This one will shred.
I'll put one between your eyes.
Wow. $14-1.
What a momentous occasion.
I can't believe it. This deck is just not that good. To me, it's not that good to me. It's decent, but I don't know. 5, 6 wins, I would have been happy. 4 to 5 seemed like kind of the range I'd probably get out of that. The fact that I got a whole nother one is pretty surprising. So there you go. Back-to-back 7-win runs with the most underpowered class in Arena in green-white. I think everyone would agree green's the worst color. It just doesn't have any of the resources you need to win games, so we were able to make that happen. Nothing too spectacular in the rewards category, but we don't need to have them. We have most of the cards. We have the ability to pretty much make whatever we need out of the cards that we no longer have, or do not yet have. Well, thank you very much for watching, guys. That was awesome. I enjoyed the stream with you guys a great deal. But I got a friend coming over soon, so I got to button up. You all stay classy, and I'll see you next time.